It's a fear that a lot of us have is being trapped in a home, an apartment, or even an office building when there's a fire. Do you know how to get out alive? It's information that can not only save your life and possibly mean the difference between life and death, not only for yourself, but for your family as well. Channel 4's Tracy Savage is live this afternoon in Huntington Beach with a series of reports for us. And first of all, she has some life-saving advice on how to escape the flames. Tracy.
Well, that's absolutely right, Chuck. You know, if your house catches on fire, knowing what to do can make the difference between life and death. Right now, I'm at a fire training center in Huntington Beach, and with me from the Orange County Fire Authority is Captain Paul Hunter. All right, Captain, let's start from the very beginning. What do you need to do to be prepared?
Well, first and foremost, every house should have a smoke detector. If you have a house that's multiple stories, you should consider having a fire safety ladder in it.
And the next step then?
Planning. You always need to plan for an event like this because when the real situation comes, planning's too late.
What kind of things do you need to do to plan?
To plan, you need to have a floor plan of your residence laid out. Identify what the primary exits are, what your secondary escape routes are, and everybody know what to do.
All right, what do you do next?
Well, then you need to practice that plan. Put it to work.
All right, well, let's go on inside this fire training tower and practice. What are some of the things that you need to think about when you're planning and practicing?
Well, one of the more primary things you need to think about is not to panic in the fire situation. Try to focus on your plan and stick to it. There's a lot of things to consider, yet they're simple and will help to easily get you out of a fire in that situation.
And certainly firefighters will be to the house in just a couple of minutes?
Absolutely.
All right.
Within about 4 to 5 minutes, that's the average, and firefighters are there.
We put a little smoke in here just to kind of make it realistic. All right, so obviously what you need to do is get out. What do you do?
Well, in a condition like this, you can see that we're under smoke. When smoke is in a residence, it'll go towards the ceilings. The hot gases will go toward the ceiling area. So you want to be down low so that the smoke will be down below. You have fresh air down here to breathe, and it'll help you to get out.
All right, and then quickly go to the door, check it out, make sure it's not hot.
Absolutely. Check the door with the back of your hand. The front of your hand is what you want to use to escape. So check the door. Open it. Make sure you open it slowly. If it's cool, you can go through.
All right, very good. Thank you, Captain Paul Hunter. Some very important safety tips. And coming up at 4:30, I'm going to put these tips to test. I'm going to go inside a smoke-filled room and see just how tough it is to get outside alive. We'll have that at 4:30. For now, I'm Tracy Savage reporting live. Back to you in the studio.
Okay.
Be careful, Tracy.
Yeah, no kidding. Coming up in Orange County, woman accused of running down her...
Well, we'll have that story coming up.
Getting out of a smoke-filled room. I'm Tracy Savage. Do you know what to do if your house catches on fire? We'll have a live demonstration next.
Get ready.
The prosecution if she testifies.
Earlier in our newscast, we showed you live, important life-saving advice on how to escape a fire, ways to make sure you get out alive. Now we're ready to put all that advice to the test. Channel 4's Tracy Savage is live once again in Huntington Beach, where a room will soon fill up with smoke, but it's all on purpose. Tracy.
That's right, Michelle. Right now, I am on my own. As you just said earlier, we got some important tips, what to do if your house catches on fire. And now here I am in a room. I'm going to put those tips to the test. Captain Paul Hunter from the Orange County Fire Authority is right outside that door, keeping a watch on things, making sure we're okay. Now, when a fire hits, of course, we're never prepared. We never know what's going to happen. In this case, we're going to assume we're just maybe sitting on the couch, watching TV, reading a book, just kicking back. First thing you notice, if your smoke detectors don't go off, you're going to smell the smoke. In this case, I can already smell a bit of smoke in the air. You can see it is already beginning to fill the room. What are we going to do? Well, of course, we're going to get out. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go to my primary exit, something that we had planned, something that we had drawn out. I'm going to go straight to that door. But again, the smoke is beginning to get a little thick, so I'm going to crouch down a little bit, and I'm going to move to the door. We're going to go ahead and start a clock, and we can see just how fast it is, how fast it takes for this smoke, to come inside this room. Put my hand up to the door, make sure it's not too hot. It doesn't feel too bad. I'm going to open it and take a peek out, but look at that. Look at all that smoke moving in here. In a matter of seconds, it's going to fill up this room. And what this is telling me is that I don't want to go that way. There's definitely a fire somewhere out there down the hall, and there's no way I'm going to exit that way. What do? I close this door to make sure that more smoke doesn't come into my room. And I'm going to move on to my second choice, my secondary exit route, staying low, of course, because this room is already filling up with smoke. If I stand up, that's going to affect my breathing, going to make it tough to see. I'm moving to my second door. Here it is. Again, staying low. put my hand on the door, make sure it's not too hot. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up and go outside. Well, I made it. How'd I do?
You did a great job.
Good.
You did the things that you're supposed to do, stick to your plan, went to your primary escape route, you checked it, it wasn't any good, you had your secondary escape route in place, you went to it, you got out. Good job.
Thank you very much. Now let me ask you this. It didn't take very long for that room to fill up with smoke. What kind of impact will that smoke have on someone if they're inside?
It can have a tremendous impact, especially now that you put the heat of a fire under it. The hot gases in combination with the smoke will have a tremendous effect on a human, and they may not be able to get out. So that's why you need to get down low and work your way out.
All right, very good. You know, it's a little eerie when you can't see your way around. That's why planning is so important.
Absolutely.
All right, very good. Well, thank you, Captain Paul Hunter from the Orange County Fire Authority. And coming up just a little bit later in this broadcast, we're going to have some more important life-saving tips. Reporting live, I'm Tracy Savage. Back to you in the studio.
You know, if it saves even one life, that's probably the most important thing we've ever done on this newscast.
It was all worth it. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, coming up in just a moment, we told you about this.
Yeah, I'll tell you what she is.
Yeah. Okay.
All righty. Now we're going to go back live to Tracy Savage for more on our series of reports on how to escape a fire and get out alive, setting up for the moment when they're actually going to set a room on fire and Tracy's going to try to escape. Tracy.
That's right, Chuck and Michelle. I'm at a fire training center in Huntington Beach, and with me, Captain Paul Hunter from the Orange County Fire Authority. Just a few minutes ago, we filled this room with smoke just to see how difficult it is. We're going to go back inside. Now, Captain Hunter, coming up at 5:30, we're not only going to fill this room with smoke, but we're going to set it on fire. How tough will it be to get out when you've not only got smoke everywhere, but a lot of hot flames?
When you have the hot gases and smoke, they rise to the ceiling, they bank down. It's very intense, can be near 1,000 degrees in temperature. You need to get down low on the ground and really make sure you're where the cool area is so that you can get to your exit.
All right, very good. Well, you will see for yourself coming up at 5:30. We're going to set this room on fire and see how difficult it is to get out. I'm Tracy Savage reporting live. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, we'll be watching, Tracy. Thank you. Let's go to Steve Truitt for a check on traffic. Steve.
A tolerance club, but not everybody is cheering about it. And flames race through a house. Would you know how to get out of there and escape? Find out in our special live report tonight, Getting Out Alive. The news at 5 begins right now.
Live from NBC4, the station working for you. Paul Moyer, Colleen Williams.
Vicki Vargas. Paul, Colleen, back to you.
Okay, Vicki. Now, our special report tonight, Getting Out Alive, is still ahead.
I'm Tracy Savage, and getting out alive out of a flaming, smoke-filled room any way you can may mean going through the window. Coming up, we'll have some important safety tips as we set this building on fire.
Also, caught on tape tonight, the mayor of a city.
#1 News, the Channel 4 News at 5:30.
All right, imagine being trapped inside a burning home with nothing but smoke and flames surrounding you, trapped, terrified, without any idea how to get out. Well, tonight we're going to show you it is possible to survive even when trapped inside an inferno like that one. Tonight you'll see there are ways that you can get out alive. Good evening once again. I'm Paul Moyer.
And I'm Colleen Williams. And so we begin tonight at 5:30 with more from the fire lines. As we've been showing you all afternoon, there are ways you can escape a fire with your life. Right now it's time to set a house on fire and show you what to do. Tracy Savage live tonight in Huntington Beach to show us how to get out alive. And Tracy, I have to say, you look pretty calm knowing what's coming up here.
It's funny, Colleen. I just said to the fire captain, I'm a little nervous now. I really am. You know, for the last 90 minutes, we've been giving you some very important safety tips, how to get out of a house if it's on fire. Now, before we were dealing with just smoke, but right now we are dealing with flames. In the other room over there, we have some firefighters setting that room on fire. They're actually starting a blaze there, and I'm going to head that direction. Meantime, Captain Paul Hunter from the Orange County Fire Authority is outside along with a whole team of firefighters, keeping an eye on things, just making sure that things are safe. Now, I'm going to head on into this room, and boy, you can already feel the heat. We had a fire here in the corner, and you can see the flames are starting to lick up a little bit, and it's already beginning to fill up with a little bit of smoke in here. I can still see, but again, it doesn't take long for this room to fill up with smoke. So obviously, what do you do when you have a fire? Well, you get out. That's the first thing you want to do. Head to your primary exit. Well, my primary exit is this way, but look, there is some flames there. There's no way I'm going to go that way. The flames are already coming up pretty high. The smoke is getting hard to see. I'm going to move down. That's what I was told. Move down, try to get below the smoke, and head to my secondary exit. I can barely see, so I will feel my way along here. My secondary exit is outside this door. So I'm going to move out of here quickly. And I'm going to shut this door because we have flames and smoke in there. We don't want them to follow me through here. All right, well, I'm up on a second level. I have to go through a window. Now, there's no way I'm going to jump through that window. Let's see if I can get it open here. So what do? Well, you get a ladder when you're up 2 floors. I've got this little ladder here. I haven't used it. Obviously, you only use it when you need it, so give it a try. All right, climbing up here. There it goes, and I'm going over. All right, got to be careful not to get hurt coming down the ladder. And the smoke is beginning to follow me through here, so it's a good thing I'm getting out now. And I am making my way down, and I made it to solid ground. All right, Captain Paul Hunter, that was kind of tough up there. That smoke was a little bit heavy, and the flames were definitely hot.
Absolutely, and that's the kind of condition in a very incipient type of stage when the fire is not even as big as it typically could get in that kind of condition.
And again, the smoke and the flames, if you're in there, stay as low as you possibly can.
Absolutely. You felt the heat up above you. It can get quite hot up at that level. You need to be down where the fresher air is. Get to your escape point and get out.
All right. Thank you very much, Captain Paul Hunter from the Orange County Fire Authority. And coming up just a little bit later, we're going to have some important safety tips for your family. Now, you may want to have your children watch this. It could help save their lives. Reporting live in Huntington Beach, I'm Tracy Savage. Back to you in the studio.
Hey, Tracy, you know what? The most important thing is the plan that you talked about. It takes some time to sit down with your family and work it out, but you have to have one of those.
Absolutely, Paul. You know, we all take it for granted. It's never going to happen to me. But, you know, it does happen. It happens from time to time, and you have to be prepared.
Tracy, what is the biggest mistake people make when they're in a house and in the situation you were just in?
You know what? Let me ask Captain Paul Hunter, the biggest mistake people make?
Typically, is they panic. They don't have a plan in place. That's one of the biggest mistakes they make. And so they don't have a preset idea as to what to do.
Well, I can see how they can panic. I mean, when I was in that room, it was a little bit frightening. You don't know how fast that fire is going to come after you. I couldn't see very well as I was standing, making my way through the smoke. We're looking live again inside that room, and it's really, really tough to see. The firefighters, you can barely even see them until you get right upon them. So, yeah, I can see how tough it would be not to panic.
Absolutely, and that's why a plan helps you to make your way through and methodically think about getting out of that fire safely.
All right, very good. Captain Paul Hunter, Orange County Fire Authority, back to you in the studio.
Tracy, one more observation here. Was that a cameraman in there or a stationary camera? Because we could see pictures inside. I'm just kind of curious what you did there.
That was a warm body, I think.
No, we do have Dana Roker in there, cameraman Dana Roker, who is following everything going on. But again, he is in full protective gear, and there are firemen all around him.
If anybody can do it, Roker can. That's for sure.
That's
Tracy,
right.
Thank you.
Sure.
We really learned a lot there.
All right, Paul.
Okay.
Colleen.
You know, the plan is important. We have one of those ladders.
So do we.
You know what?
I don't know where it is.
I was talking to my wife the other night. I don't either.
I have no clue
What
where
good is it going to do you if you don't know where it is? You got to know, because when you wake up in the middle of the night and the house is on fire, that's no time to be making plans.
Yeah.
You got to have them. All right, good stuff. Thanks, Trace. All right, here's a case in point right here. A faulty fireplace is being blamed.
Here on the Channel 4 News at 5, we showed you live how to get out of a burning building with your life. Now some critical information for your family if firefighters ever have to enter your home. Channel 4's Tracy Savage is live in Huntington Beach right now for another fiery live demonstration. Tracy.
All right, Colleen. Well, for the last hour and 45 minutes, we have been bringing you these important safety tips, showing you just how tough it is when you're in a smoke-filled room or a room filled with flames. And joining me right now is Captain Paul Hunter from the Orange County Fire Authority. It doesn't take long for a room to fill up with smoke and flames. Really, how much time do you have if you notice a fire in the corner of your bedroom?
You could have minutes, and even less than a minute, based on the types of things that are in your home or in your room. It could be less than a minute before all that stuff becomes involved.
All right, well, in the other room, we have firefighters setting that room on fire. You're looking at it live. There they are. They are starting a fire. And in just a second, we're going to move in there and just see what it's like. Check out those conditions. We can see already that room is starting to fill up. The flames are already starting to move up. Let's go ahead, Captain Paul Hunter, and make our way inside.
You can tell that the smoke's already coming out.
You know what? And I felt the heat the minute that door opened.
If you put your hand up, you'll feel the hot gases high up in the air here.
Now,
it gets hot. We need to get down already, don't we?
It's making my eyes water.
And you can feel, now look at the haze here. See the haze and how the smoke banks down in the room. This can happen very quickly, and then sometimes in a matter of minutes. You see how the air is better down here, though, correct?
Yeah, it's easier to breathe, and you can see better.
And every time as we're talking, we need to be down lower when this goes on. See how the fire is working itself. This will go very fast and very intensely. Now come on over here by me because we are going to have to leave here in a very short moment.
Staying
the
down.
gases get very hot. Stick your hand up a little bit.
I
Feel
can
how hot
feel
that
it.
is.
Yeah, it's
Someone will not survive in this.
It's about 20 degrees hotter. Let's move out and let the firefighters come in here and see what they confront as they come in here. The big question for me, and we're going to watch it on this monitor out here in the hallway, Captain Hunter, the big question for me is what if there are children inside? How difficult, how frightening is this for kids, and what is it that firefighters are going to do?
The firefighters will come in and do what we call a primary search. Children get real scared, and then when they get scared, they go for places to hide, like under a couch, under a bed, inside a closet, behind some big object. So firefighters have to look in every little nook and cranny to make sure that we don't have someone hiding somewhere. You can see how they make a methodical search of the entire room to make sure that they can see and make sure that there isn't anybody in there.
Now take a look at that firefighter with his mask and his helmet. For a scared child, that alone could frighten a little kid.
Absolutely. It kind of looks like the Darth Vader person. And for a child, they need to know and see that that's a good person coming to them.
So obviously, train with your child, drill with your child, and let the child know how to get out himself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what's most important. To make sure that the child knows what the plan is. Everybody in the family know where to go, what to do.
You can see this couch is really lit up here. So many objects in your house really will just set the fire ablaze.
Absolutely. We've been into this maybe a minute and a half now, 2 minutes, and look at how well involved that is. The temperatures at the ceiling of this room are probably up around 1,000 degrees. And so somebody will not survive in that environment.
Okay, smoke detectors, you want to have that to let you know there's a fire. You need to be prepared. Get a ladder up on the second floor and you need to climb out. Make a plan. You say do a draft of your home so you know which way to go, which direction to go.
Absolutely. Those are the things. Smoke detectors, a ladder if you need it. Have that plan in place and practice the plan.
And
that's
practicing
what's
is
most
basically
important.
just running through it, going to the doors, checking it out, knowing how to feel the door, if it's hot or not.
Stay low. Have that plan in place where you're going to have that primary escape route, your secondary escape route. Know what to do if you're trapped in the house and you just simply cannot get out.
Hey,
And
Tracy?
certainly, would it be a good idea to take your children to the fire station to meet the firefighters so
Absolutely.
they know who they are and know what to expect?
Absolutely. Our firefighters welcome any of the public to come by and say hello. They'd be more than happy to answer any of the questions and make sure that the people out there have the right story, see what the equipment looks like if they want.
Hey, Tracy?
Thank you very much, Captain Paul Hunter from the Orange County Fire Authority. Certainly some very, very valuable information. It can be life or death information, knowing what to do, how to get out alive if your house catches on fire. I'm Tracy Savage reporting live in Huntington Beach. Now back to you in the studio.
I don't know if Tracy can hear me. Can you hear me, Trace?
Yes, I can, Paul.
Can you ask him very quickly, is there any situation where you're better off locking yourself in a room and waiting for help?
You know what? Let me check with the captain. Any situation where you're better off if you heard him? Locking yourself in, yes or no?
Only if you can't get out. And this would be if you simply cannot get out of the area you're in, you're trapped, then you want to provide layers between you and the fire. Make sure every door is closed between you and the fire, seal off around the bottoms of the doors so that the smoke doesn't come in. Wait for firefighters. Firefighters will be there in 4 or 5 minutes. Sometimes people get upset, they think it's longer than that, but in reality, 4 or 5 minutes that fire department's there and they're doing what they need to do.
And make some noise, maybe pound on the wall or something, let them know that you're there.
Absolutely. And the most important thing is to remember, do not ever go back into a burning house. Firefighters will go into that burning house and take care of them.
Even if you think there's somebody in there.
Absolutely, because more than likely then there'll be 2 victims, you and the other person.
And firefighters are trained to do it, they have the gear, they know what to look for.
Absolutely. And that's what's most important.
All right, very good. Again, thank you very much. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Tracy, thank you. And Captain Paul Hunter, we should tell you, if you want any information on this, what you need to do is go to our website, the address you see on the screen, www.nbc4la.com, and click on Operation Fire Safe. All the information you'll need. The captain was talking about sealing off the doors, wrap towels in wet towns, put them underneath, and keeps the flames.
A lot of good information there. A lot of good information. We'll be right back after these messages.
Over the past 2 hours on our newscast this afternoon, we have showed you live dramatic demonstrations of how to get out of a burning building. Channel 4's Tracy Savage is live once again in Huntington Beach with more. Tracy.
Well, Chuck, you know, you can still feel the heat in here. Just minutes ago, this room was set afire, a roaring fire. And now take a look at the aftermath. Look what this fire has done to this room. The couch is still smoldering. You can see some, well, obviously it is absolutely destroyed. With me now is Captain Paul Hunter from the Orange County Fire Authority. All right, it has been quite an afternoon. We have learned a lot. Let's recap the very, very important tips for the folks at home. What do you need to do?
Remember, each home should have a smoke detector. If you have a multiple story residence, think about getting an escape ladder. And then put together a fire escape plan. Have a plan in place. Once you come up with that plan, practice it. And practice it again so that everybody knows exactly what to do in the event that there's a fire in their residence.
Well, we saw how quickly that this room went up and how quickly it became so hot in here and really hard to move around, hard to breathe in here. You only have a few minutes to get out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things that's important to note here is just the corner of this couch, half of this couch, and the corner items are what burned here. And it got tremendously hot, and that's what happened.
All right, quickly, the name of this facility again?
The Joint Powers Fire Training Center, run by Battalion Chief Mitch Sheriff.
All right, very good. And we want to thank those folks. We also want to thank you very much for all your help this afternoon. Certainly some very, very valuable information. And we hope that folks at home will have learned something from this and perhaps it will save some lives. I'm Tracy Savage reporting live in Huntington Beach. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, Tracy. And just to follow up, if you'd like more information, you missed any of the reports, we've got it all for you on our website. Just go to that address right there, NBC4LA.com.
Click on news links. You've covered fires before, and you come back and you smell really bad. So I just have a little message for Tracy. Go and bathe, please, for the sake of us all, okay?